Archangel Michael warns, someone is stopping your miracle. Don't skip this message. Something important is about to be revealed that you need to hear right now. Please take a moment to understand how important these words are. My dear child, you really amaze me. Do you know what that means? You recently moved me deeply. And I know everything from beginning to end. I've shaped mountains and oceans, and I know every thought before it comes to mind. You have no idea how much. Someone found out something bad about you, so they tried to kill you. Not because you were perfect or didn't have any problems. Do not scroll away. Do not wait. We need to tell everyone this truth right now. You might miss what heaven has planned for you if you rush through this moment. It's not a game. This isn't a mistake. This isn't just one more message. This is an important stop on your trip. This was supposed to be a pause. I planned your steps here on purpose. I meant for your eyes to land on this moment. A very interesting thing was learned about you in the spirit world. Heaven was keeping a close eye on your heart every day, even when you were just trying to get by. As you went on, angels watched you. The enemy kept a close eye on you, hoping you'd fall. But what they saw inside you shocked everyone, even those who didn't believe you. You were picked to hear this when 99% of other people will never hear it. Not because you're better than other people, or because you did everything perfectly. Because your heart has shown that it can handle hard truths without fear or pride. Many people want the truth, but not many can really accept it. A lot of people want to be chosen, but not many are ready to go through the steps that are needed to be chosen. You didn't stop. You're not like most people. You're not like most people. Your being here on earth wasn't a coincidence. From the moment I made you, I put something inside you that is hard to break. You have a depth that you might not fully understand. You're good at things that even surprise you. Some part of you wouldn't give up when life hit you hard. That resistance wasn't just being stubborn. I gave you that strength a long time ago, before you were even born. This moment was planned before you took your first breath, made your first mistake, or felt disappointed. I knew there would be a day when I would tell you the truth. I knew you would start to wonder if you were worth anything, what your purpose was, and even if you were important at all. It was also in my mind that one day I would pull back the curtain and tell you the truth about you. Heaven might take longer to show you who you really are if you don't pay attention to this. This isn't a threat. This is an invitation. Please pay close attention. Be careful not to write this off as a feeling. Don't think it's a mistake. You asked me to spell it out. You asked me to show you who you really are. I'm now going to answer. What was found out about you? I'll tell you right now why it changes everything. But first, you need to silence the voice that tells you this can't be about you. It's about you. Yes, you who almost gave up but didn't. You who cried alone but were nice to other people. Who felt like they weren't seen but chose to be honest anyway. People like you who felt weak but kept going. I was amazed at how strong your core was even when everything else fell apart. You didn't get angry when someone betrayed you. You didn't swear at me when delays made you wait too long. You didn't give up on hope completely, even when loneliness told you lies. There were times when you were almost broken, when your faith was weak at night. You kept coming back to me for some reason. Heaven knew how hard you were working, even though it felt like you were barely making it. I carefully watched your heart when you didn't think anyone was there. What I found was not common. While it wasn't perfect, it was pretty unusual. When things were tough, I found loyalty. I found a spark of faith that wouldn't go out. I saw you being humble, even when you should have been proud. I saw kindness in you even after you were hurt. That mix doesn't happen very often. That's why this truth will never reach most people. A lot of people give up when they're hurt. Tests make a lot of people angry. Many people leave when the silence lasts too long. You didn't really leave, though. You believed that the little things you didn't matter. You thought no one saw how quietly you did what they said. You believed that staying calm when you wanted to fight showed that you were weak. It was hard, though. It made you think. It meant that something more was growing inside you. Be brave in your faith. If you are living up to every promise He made for your life, then you are not like most people. There is spiritual weight on you. There's something about you that you haven't fully understood. The enemy knew about it before you did. That's why attacks felt so close to home. That's why the stress was so high. That's why hopelessness tried to cover you like a thick cloud. Before you found out who you are, He wanted you to forget about it. But what I put in you can't be taken away by hard times. When you're sad, you can't erase what I wrote in your heart. A new thing that was learned about you is that you are strong enough to take on more responsibility. You are humble, which means you can receive good things. When you dig deep, you can find out things you need to know who you are for the next season. So this truth needs to come out right away. If you feel small, you can't move forward. You can't carry what I'm about to give you. If you think you're not important, do not wait. Do not scroll away from this call. You don't have to hide who you are. This truth isn't meant to make you feel better about yourself. It's meant to boost your trust in me. I was shocked by what you did, my child. Not by how well you behaved, but by how long you kept going. You spoke out even though it was meant to shut you up. You were meant to see how weak you are by what you went through. You didn't fall apart completely. Instead, your roots got stronger. What I'm about to say will change how you see the past, the present, and the future. No longer can the truth about you be kept hidden. Once you know this, you'll never look at yourself the same way again. As your beloved child, you have been living through this season without realizing what was going on. I'm going to tell you what was found about you in the world that can't be seen. Heaven was very close to your heart as you went about your day and tried to keep it together. That deep part of you that you thought no one really saw was your heart, not your good looks, your accomplishments, or your strength in public. I looked into your heart when there was silence around you. When your prayers didn't seem to be heard, I looked at it. I looked at it when people you trusted let you down. I looked past how you seemed to be reacting to see how you really felt. What they found there shook the heavens. You thought you were just about making it. You believed you were weak. You thought your tears showed that you were weak. When heaven looked closely at you, though, they saw something else. You had strength that was hidden, a quiet strength that can't be broken, not a loud or proud strength. When the pressure rose, your core didn't break. It curved. It was shaky, but it didn't break all the way. But you still whispered my name, even when you weren't sure. Even when you thought I had left you, you looked for me. That determination showed something unique about you. The enemy was shocked by how loyal you were when things got tough. He thought you would leave right away. He thought that your sadness would turn into anger. He thought that your confusion would make you rebel. You fought your pain instead while holding on to me. That shocked him. The weak spots on you made him think you'd fall too far to get back up. You didn't, though. You have no idea how closely people watched what you did. Every time you picked calm over anger, it made a difference. Every time you chose patience over anger, it made a difference. It made a difference every time you were honest instead of giving in, even when it would have been easier to do so. These were not small events. During hard times, they showed how spiritual you were. Your faith was shown. You thought your faith wasn't very strong before this season because it made you feel things. But faith isn't about how you feel. How long you can hold on is how long it is. Your faith stayed strong even though it was shaking. Even when comfort and happiness were gone, faith that was shaking was still faith. It didn't matter how long it took. You kept praying. You kept trusting even when there wasn't much proof. You didn't give up hope, even though it seemed risky. That showed what you were really like. The right kind of faith, not religious performance or acts. You felt weak some nights when you cried. But God doesn't see weakness. Heaven saw people give up. You were sometimes worn out from working so hard. Failure was not seen in heaven. God saw that you kept going. You did question me sometimes, but you never cursed at me while you did it. There was no break in the connection. You had trouble, but you stayed. Heaven was moved by how hard you worked. You're not making that up, my beloved child. People in the unseen world noticed when you stayed true, even when things were tough. Your spirit was praised when you fought the urge to give up completely. You didn't see anyone cheer. You didn't feel any happiness. In any case, there was recognition. You didn't see how spiritually you changed. You thought too much about what you didn't have. You thought you were better than people who seemed louder, stronger, and more sure of themselves. You thought you were behind. You were weak because you fell so often. You could see your growth on the outside, but not on the inside. It can be hard to see growth at first. After the roots have grown, the fruit only shows up in the light. Your roots got stronger when things were worst for you. It taught you not to depend on cheers, but on me. You learned to ask me what I think instead of asking other people what they think. You learned how to deal with pain without running away from it right away. That's being spiritually grown up. And it was slowly taking shape inside you. It's not a sign of weakness to be sensitive, even though you thought it was, because the pain was so bad. It gives it depth. It shows that your heart is still beating because you were so sad. You are honest about your faith because you don't hide your doubts. Since you didn't act like you were sad, it means you were doing something to change. Heaven saw strength where you saw weakness in your heart. It found loyalty when you thought people were tired. It found humility where pride could have grown. It still cared about you after you got hurt. In a spiritual way, you are unique. Take a moment to think about that truth. I want you to do something right now that seems easy but has spiritual power. Type one word in the box below. It only takes one word to accept this truth as your own. Not just because it's what they always do. Type Amen to show that you agree with this truth. Picture that you agree with what heaven says about who you really are as you type it. You're not hurt. We haven't forgotten about you. In a spiritual way, you are unique. Raise your Amen to show that you will never look at yourself the same way again. In a spiritual way, you are very unique. You believed you were weak. Rare because you didn't give up and kept going. Very rare because you went through pain without getting mean. It's rare because you passed the test without giving up hope. When things are going well, a lot of people can praise me. A lot of people can speak up when they see good things. People tend to pull away when they lose comfort, when it's quiet for a long time, or when they feel deeply let down. You didn't back off all the way. Even when you took a step back in shock, you didn't leave me. The enemy saw that you were crying and thought you had lost. But God saw your tears and knew you were strong. The enemy thought that the stress would break you for good, but it only showed them what you could do. You didn't understand how you became smarter. Things that you used to miss became more clear to you. You learned how to spot lies better. That soft push made you trust me more than the loud voices around you. No one could see that growth taking place. You missed how humble you became. In the past, you thought you had to yell to protect yourself. This season taught you to keep quiet. You learned that you could put your trust in me. That's real strength. It was impossible for you to see how your kindness grew after the being hurt. You learned how to help people who are having a hard time. You stopped being mean and started being nice. That's being spiritually grown up. Heaven looked into your heart and found something strange. My beloved child, not perfection or perfect behavior, but a spirit that wouldn't go away completely. A heart that kept coming back. A spirit that didn't give up. You thought you were weak. In a spiritual way, you are unique. Now that you know this, everything has changed because rare things are very valuable. It's more important to take care of rare things. Care is taken to keep rare things safe. You might have become stronger because of what you went through. Because of what you went through, you might have kept quiet. You reached out to me, even though you were having doubts. That's why I'm saying it again. You made me speechless. It's not that I didn't know what you could do. It was beautiful to watch it happen under stress. You're stronger than you think. You're smarter and more complicated than you think. You're all set. Now that you know the truth, you need to change how you see yourself. No longer call yourself weak. Do not say that you are weak. Do not feel like you are spiritually behind. You're not like most people. You didn't stop. You stayed. Heaven has seen how you changed in ways you couldn't see. My beloved child, I'm going to tell you why this truth about you has been hidden from you until now. You were wondering why I didn't tell you sooner. Yes, I did. That's why I let you wander around uncertain. Why I didn't tell you some things while you were looking for answers. You thought I was quiet since I wasn't close. You thought I lied to you because I didn't think you were good enough. The truth, on the other hand, is more complicated and full of care. Timing is important in revelation. There are truths that help and truths that are too much to handle. There are revelations that make things stronger and revelations that make things bigger. You are stronger now than you were before I told you this about you. That's because you have been shaping, stretching, and fighting in the background. It might have made you feel good about your pride. You might have been scared. It might have taken your mind off the things you needed to do. If I had told you at the beginning how special you are, how deep your spirit goes, and how responsible your life is, you might not have understood. It's possible that you tried to perform instead of giving up. You might have been after praise instead of growth. You might have started to hide a part of your identity that you weren't ready to carry yet. My child, small things show pride. It doesn't always yell. It speaks sometimes. It can take a while to grow when praise comes too early. What if I told you this before you became more humble? You might have thought you were better than other people. You could have judged yourself instead of being kind, which would have been worse for your spirit than anything else. But fear can also get in the way. If I told you this truth before you got braver, you might have run away. You might have thought, that can't be me. You might have felt responsible and put yourself in a fearful state. You might have been unsure of your strength to carry what I gave you. Because of this, I first got your heart ready. Always. Getting ready comes before revelation. I had to help you get back on your feet. It was important to me that you felt weak and on your own. Before I told you, I had to make you feel weak, so you could see that my strength comes from me and not from you. People had to finish the test. Exposure can be bad if you don't have a strong base. When you put stress on a structure that hasn't been fully shown yet, it breaks. You didn't notice, but I was quietly making you stronger inside. I was trying to humble you, test your patience, and make you smarter. A lot of building was going on. The test was about more than just how long you could last. It also checked how ready you were. Are ready to tell the truth without changing it. Willingness to accept approval without getting cocky. Ready to take the call without any stress. You were safe when you were quiet. That's what I want you to understand. You were safe when you were quiet. I didn't publicly confirm your relationship right away, because I didn't want you to have to deal with pressure from other people until you were ready. By not telling you everything at once, I kept you from getting attention that could have been bad for you. I may have kept some things from you to help you grow. You sometimes felt like you were forgotten, but you were being shaped. You sometimes felt like no one was paying attention to you, but you were growing behind their backs. Growth that takes place in silence is stronger than growth that takes place with cheers. I waited because you weren't ready to hear this truth before. It wasn't because you weren't important. It was because you weren't ready To carry revelation, you need to be mature. To keep your identity, you need to be stable. To walk in your calling, you need to be humble. It changes the way you live, you see. When you know who you are, you change what you do. Your standards go up. It gets harder for you to find a middle ground. You find out more about being responsible. If the change came too quickly, and your character wasn't ready for it, it might have been too much for you. In order to understand capacity, you had to know what it was like to be capped. You had to be late before you could understand how important timing is. You had to know what it was like to be weak before you could understand what it was like to be strong. That order was planned. I had to take some things away before I told you who you really are, to stop you from relying on validation. I had to break you. It became a bad habit for me to wait for approval before doing what I was told. Some links that would have pushed you back after you took a step forward had to be taken away. If I had told you this truth back then, you might have tried to prove it instead of living it. You could have tried to convince people instead of just walking in. You may have turned who you are into a show, which is not what I want. Being myself is not loud to me. It stays the same. It does not require constant defense. It doesn't need to be affirmed all the time. You had to keep your heart still for this truth to come to you straight. To deal with it without getting proud, you had to be kind. You had to be very brave to believe it without getting scared. There I was. I didn't do anything while you cried. I waited while you had doubts. I watched as you fought. I was aware, not because I didn't care, but because I was listening. I was waiting for the time when your humility and strength would work well together. When you would want my attention less than you need me, and when your faith would be strong enough for you to take charge. It's time now. You're not the same person you were at the beginning of the season. You're feeling better. You're not as likely to act. You can tell things better. You know you need me more now. That level of maturity makes it safe to say this truth. You didn't get found out too soon because of the silence. You didn't reach an immature height because of the delay. You were safe from unstable foundations because of hidden seasons. Know this, my dear child, I'm not hiding the truth from you to hurt you. It's meant to make you stronger. God's timing is just right. It's smart to slowly show things to people. If I showed you everything at once, you wouldn't have been able to enjoy the trip. I would have lost your trust when things got tough. If I told everyone who you were before the test. After a lot of hard times and growing up, you can now see the truth and know it's true. This time I waited because you were not ready to hear the truth. But now you are. Now, your modesty keeps you in the real world. Your strength right now helps you. Because you are smart, you are now safe. Now, your faith keeps you steady. It won't make you feel better to know this truth. You will be grounded. It won't be too much for you. It'll help you stand up straight. Not making noise was not the same as not being there. It was getting ready. It wasn't rejection to be late. It was to keep them safe. It wasn't a punishment to wait. It had to do with placement. And finally, the veil is taken away, letting what has been shown into your heart. There is a big deal coming up after this message. You need to pay full attention to this. Your life is no longer quiet. It's working as it should, the hidden season. You should also pay attention to what's going on right now. I am ready should be written in the comments. Don't wait until you're ready. Not if you have everything ready. No, just the way you are now. You promise heaven that you will no longer hide who you are when you write, I am ready. You must now understand what was going on beneath the surface as you went through your silent season. My beloved child, the enemy tried to keep this from you. He knew before you did that something was going to happen. He knew what I put inside you was important, and you didn't even know it. He tried to twist what I put down because he couldn't get it off. He tried to have you think you were someone else because he couldn't hide who you were. Some spiritual forces were working against you in the background. It wasn't always clear. It wasn't always very loud. At times, it looked like a subtle attempt to stop them. It would sometimes come with thoughts that were like your own. It sometimes came through what other people said. You tried to change how you see yourself during those times. Your enemy knew that you would change. If you ever really found out who you are in me, you'd say different things. It would stop making you smaller. You would stop saying sorry for being alive. You should stop giving me less than I want. He would have less control over your mind because of that. He made plans ahead of time. He worked then He lied about how much you were worth. Not enough, he said in a low voice, until they felt permanent. He told you that your mistakes made you who you were. He played over your mistakes. You made your flaws seem worse, which slowed you down. When you looked in the mirror, he wanted you to not see anything special, strong, or unusual about yourself. There were times when you believed him. At times, it seemed like his lies were louder than mine. You thought everyone else was ahead of you. You thought other people naturally had something you were missing. You thought your problems showed that you weren't as smart, lucky, or important as other people. It became one of his best tools to compare things. He put people ahead of you who seemed to be further along. He let you see their happiness, confidence, and pride in what they had done. As time went on, comparison made you feel less sure of your own worth. You began to judge yourself based on dates that didn't apply to you. You began to rate your progress by rules that were never meant to fit your life. Comparison took your attention away from growing as a person. You forgot how far you had come because of it. It kept you from seeing how strong you were. You felt bad about yourself because you weren't moving like other people. But no one ever asked you to be someone else. You were meant to be the person I made you. Plans were made for the attacks. They were the target. When you lost hope, you were about to make a big step forward. There was more and more doubt as you went deeper. As your self-control got stronger, temptation got stronger. There was a reason for these patterns. They were tries to get you to doubt who you were before you were sure. It seems like some strange but plausible thoughts crossed your mind. You are not unique. You will never get through this. You are too hurt. It is too late for you. Those were not the case. They were seeds that were put down with the hope that they would grow. But here's something the enemy didn't see coming. Those lies wouldn't fully sink into your spirit. You had trouble with them. You could feel them. It was hard for you. At the same time, you didn't really want to agree with them. You were still aware of the truth when you fought back. By making you feel bad, the enemy tried to hide who you were. He tried to make your story about pain. He tried to permanently mark your mistakes. Seeing that you were having trouble made him think that I had forgotten about you. The truth lived on, though. Every lie was met with resistance from your spirit. Everyone who tried to make you doubt yourself failed in some way. You had doubts about yourself, but you didn't give up on your faith completely. You may have had doubts about your calling, but you didn't cut me off. You can't get back what I put in you. Pay close attention to that sentence. I can't take away what I put in you. Not by failing, being turned down, being late, being compared to others, or being attacked spiritually. I give people a strong sense of who they are. Events can't erase it. It hasn't changed by the enemy. It's not broken by hard times. It could be hidden for a while. It may be sad, but it is still whole. The enemy could only try to make things worse. He could never delete. People tried to hurt you so that you would doubt who you are. But doubt doesn't change the truth. The only thing you have to do is find it again. It felt like something was pulling you back to hope, even when you were having the worst time. I was that pull. It was hard to hold on to the truth in that pull. You thought sometimes that you were just like everyone else, which was a lie, and that you didn't have anything special or important to offer. But every time that thought made you feel good, I made you feel something else. I told you quietly that you're more than what you see. The enemy aimed to make you forget how strong you were. You should have thought about how tired you were. You were supposed to see every delay as a reason not to compete. But waiting does not stop God's plan. The goal wasn't lost in the pressure. He tried to hide the truth because he felt bad about it. Feel bad about the choices you've made in the past. I feel bad for messing up. Shame on you for being weak. Shame tries to keep you from being who you are. Shame tries to hide you from other people. Shame tries to keep you from seeing what's really going on. I didn't make you live in shame, though. I made you so that you can walk freely. Shame may have come to your door, but it didn't take over your life. The truth stood strong, no matter what was done to hurt it. I can tell that someone is reading this now. You've been through a lot. You've been through things that would have killed other people, but you're still alive. Still there, still believing, and still moving forward. Now, I want you to be happy that you made it. Type, "I survived," in the comments as proof. Not because they're proud, but because it's good. It's not to show off, but to show that God has been with you. When you type those words, you're not just being rude. There was something steady about you even when you didn't know who you were. Even though you felt weak, there was something strong. Even though you didn't feel seen, something important was still going on. That thing is inside you now. The bad guys can't make anything. He can only bend. What I wrote can't be changed by him. He can only try to take your mind off of it. It's true that distractions work, but only for a short time. You are not the lie that was told over you. You're not scared of how you feel. You're not the comparison that tries to make you look less important. You can't get back what I put in you. It might have been checked. It might have been called into question. It may have been asked about. But it's still there. The enemy tried to keep this truth from you because knows that when you fully accept it, you will rise with the confidence that comes from me. When you are scared, you won't be able to negotiate. You will no longer have doubts at work. You're going to stop putting yourself down. That shift changes everything. Please fully understand this. My dear child, being opposed is often a sign of worth. How strong the attack was showed how important what you carry is. There was a reason why you felt pressure. It had something to do with how much you could do. The truth lived on, though. While I held it, it stayed below the water, ready to come to the surface at the right time. It's time now. You were never taken away. You were never left out. You were never at your worst. You can't get back what I put in you. It's still there. It's still alive. There is something very important you need to know. What God is doing in your life right now has to do with hearing His voice. You might have thought that heaven was talking to you about your problems through this message. If this is true, I want you to do something prophetic. Join this channel right now, not as an afterthought, but as a statement that you are in line with what God's prophet said would happen in your life. Each subscription fits with the way you're living your life. Signing up for alerts is like telling God, I'm ready to hear what you have to say. Do it now. Tune in to what heaven is letting out. It's stronger than any lie that tried to stop it. Now, my beloved child, I need to talk to your spirit in a direct and firm way. That's because what I'm about to say isn't funny or something you can skip over. You were picked in a different way. There is nothing unique about you that comes from being proud or cocky. A lot of people will never have to carry that wait. You're not one of the 99% who will never hear this. A lot of people will keep walking without ever figuring out what's going on inside them. But you were picked to know. You have to take responsibility once you know. Chosen is not the same as easy. It's not going to be easy. Even though I say you were chosen in a different way. Because of a calling. You need to be an adult. That's why you were checked out. That's why you were made better. That's why the silence before the truth made you feel strained. A lot of people want to be picked, but not many want to be disciplined enough to be picked. Many people want power, but don't want to be humble. A lot of people want power, but don't want to give up. Many people want revelation, but don't want to be responsible for it. It was a secret process, though, because the things you carry can't be given to someone who isn't stable. Because of the way your heart beat when you were stressed, you are not in the 99%. You became softer, while others became harder. Some people left, but you stayed and fought. Other people chose to be angry, but you wanted to forgive, even though it was hard. There is a big difference there. It's important to note that difference. You have spiritual power that you are not aware of. It's not quite clear to you yet, but it's slowly coming together. Power doesn't make a sound. It's not a brag. Do not pay attention to it. A spiritual leader stays calm when things are going crazy. It makes things calm down during storms. It makes people feel better without yelling. That power grew while you were hidden. However, it grew while you were away. It got bigger while you worked hard and didn't get any credit. You could build on what I made without a platform. You didn't waste the years of peace. Seasons that were missed were not empty. You were in charge because of them. You need to change how you live now that you know this truth. They were sure of themselves, but not cocky. It wasn't loud, but you knew it was true. Do not compare yourself to other people. Instead, be happy with the way I made you. You were picked in a different way. No one else's path will be like yours. The Holy Spirit is telling someone to make a difference for someone else right now. You can think of someone who needs to hear this right now. It makes them feel like no one knows about them. They feel like no one remembers them. Their path doesn't seem to make sense to them. You should reach out to them because God wants you to. Do not wait to share this video. Do it now. Know now when you remember. Click the share button to send this to that person. When you share, you don't just send content. It's not going to be the same for everyone else. Everyone else's task will be different from yours. That's also fine. That's how it was supposed to be. It's going to try to sneak back in, to compare. It will tell you that you missed something, are behind schedule, or are not as good as other people. You were picked out in a different way, though. The measurements that work for some people don't make you who you are. I judged you based on something else. By that standard, you're not lacking. You are right where you should be right now. Don't let the enemy make you afraid again after the truth has been shown. Don't tell old lies again after heaven has spoken. In a spiritual way, you are unique. You were picked in a different way. And I can't take away what I put inside you. You need to act like you know this now, not with pride, but with peace. Not with honor, but with trust. It's not important to work hard, but to rest. It's been too long since you didn't help yourself. You haven't known for too long. You now know. You now get it. You now know what was found out about you. I couldn't say anything because your heart told me the truth behind closed doors. It was meant for what you went through to break you. It would have been easier for you to leave, but you chose to stay. Heaven saw you grow, even though it didn't seem possible. This truth will change how you live, my beloved child. You may not talk about yourself from now on how you used to. Don't say, I forgot about you, because I remember you. If you've been through a lot that most people couldn't, don't call yourself weak. Don't say you're normal when God made you different. Words have power. It's important how you talk about yourself. What you say needs to match what I told you. Say this to yourself or out loud. I am spiritually uncommon. I wasn't broken by what was meant to do so. It was hard for me to carry faith. It was tempting for me to leave, but I stayed. Heaven knows how I feel. Right now, I want you to do something that will bring God's blessings into your life. Please click the like button when you feel God's love on your heart right now. This move isn't just for a video. This is a spiritual sign that God is giving you something and you are taking it. Think about it this way. Every time you click like, you're making a deal with heaven and letting God's favor into your life. Your yes to the good things He's about to do for you is your like. Don't just do it every time. As an act of faith, do it now. I'm not like most people. You haven't forgotten about me. I'm not weak. I wasn't picked the same way you were. Think about those words for a while. Let them stop making the old claims. They've been telling lies too many times. The enemy got it wrong about who you are. You are the person I said you were. I also told you that you are unusual. I told you that you would be faithful. You are ready, I told you. It's no longer quiet. The hidden season did what it was supposed to do. What was made behind closed doors will become clear in ways you don't fully understand yet. It's not that you'll get loud, cocky, or pushy. It's that what's inside you can't stay hidden forever. At the end, a hidden light will be found. A building will be able to stand on top of a base that has already been set. Deep roots will eventually lead to fruit. You are now in a time when people will see you. Not attention for your pride, but attention for my glory. Not attention to make people like you, but attention to do what I want you to do. You will stay hidden because of the same strength that helped you hide. Being humble when no one is around will help you keep your balance. When people do, people will be able to see the faith flame that shone and didn't go out. You were ready for something. You were not made better by accident. There was a reason for the process. It was meant to hurt. There was a reason to hold on. The goal is finally being shown. Do not be scared of it. Don't let fear make you think you're the same person you were before this trip. You're not. You're not the same now. You're now bigger. It's hard to explain how you've changed, but I can measure it. I think you're ready. I think you're ready. I'm telling you the truth about yourself, because you're ready to face it without shame, fear, or change. Now is your chance, my beloved child. This shift has been on your mind. Not just a change in what's going on, but also a change in how you see yourself. You now know what was learned about you. You now know why there had to be silence. You now understand that I can't take back what I did to you. You now know that someone else picked you instead. In that truth, move forward. Use it to help you choose what to do. Let it make you feel good about yourself. Let it stop the lies that try to come back. You amazed me, my child, and heaven is still glad it found you. Now go live your life like you know who you are. I want you to do one more act of faith to seal this truth before you go any further. God's blessing is coming into your life right now. Say this. Press the like button. It's not about a button. This is where you should stand. With every like, you send a spiritual message that says, I'm ready to receive what heaven is letting go of. You should click to show that you agree. Let good luck, blessings, and progress find you. I'm happy. Press it now. I want you to remember this truth one last time before you leave. They've been trying for a long time to erase your identity. But today, heaven has reminded you. Today, people have seen you, known you, and called you rare. Now I want you to add your own mark to this moment. In the comments, type Amen one more time. Not all the time, not all the time, but like a seal, as a promise from God that what He said over you today can't be taken away, stolen, or ignored. Be humble and strong as you carry this light with you. Be the person I made you. You don't have to try hard or do well. You can take comfort in the fact that you are spiritually uncommon. You didn't stop, even though this message is over. A new journey is just beginning for you. It's now clear what kind of person you are. There was no more quiet. The hidden season did what it was supposed to do. Now I want you to take one more step of faith. If you haven't already, please join this channel. It's not about a button. This is where you stand as a prophet. Getting a subscription is a spiritual way to stay in touch with what God is saying to people your age. I will not miss what God is saying. Is what you say when you sign up. I'm going to follow His holy flow. As a last sign that you agree with everything that was said today, do it now. Also, know that when you subscribe, you agree to all of God's promises for your future. One more thing before you go. You didn't get those things just for yourself today. It's for your friends, family, and spiritual family. Someone else's life will change for the better because of your story, your obedience, or even just the fact that you shared it. Get this message out there. Tell someone they are spiritually unique if they need to hear it. This should be given to someone who wants to give up. In the spirit world, something changes when you talk. You can feel the blessing moving through you. Giving something away makes the progress you made bigger. Do not keep this to yourself. Share it right now. Let the fact that you follow through amaze someone else. You stayed, you got bigger. I'll be with you always. Right now, Before we finish this moving story, let's think about this important truth. This message wasn't found by accident. This isn't just a lucky break. This is a message from Archangel Michael to you directly, putting out his hand. He wants you to join a safe, high, vibrational community where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise. This holy rule is very easy to understand, but it can make a huge difference in your life. If you follow it, you will get more than just good things. They'll come back to you in many forms and fill your whole life. You can get early access to powerful content and divine insights that aren't available to everyone right now if you accept this invitation. You can now go into a holy place where you will get spiritual help, unwavering support, and quick progress toward your destiny. Don't miss this holy moment of your life's journey. There's a breakthrough waiting for you. Use the special link in the description to join Archangel Michael's inner circle right away. This is the only way to be sure you never miss the direct, personalized messages that are meant to improve and strengthen your life. If you want to get to know each other better, the link is in both the pinned comment and the description. There is also a link to buy the guided ebook for those who feel called to spread this work even further. But this is not required. But just being here, paying attention, and coming together means a lot. Do it. Your plenty is waiting. Please know that every seed you plant in this mission grows into a torch that shines in someone else's darkness. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. But more than your support, we want your presence. When you head to our community through the link in the description or the pinned comment, you aren't just visiting a site. You are entering a community of like-minded believers. This is a sanctuary where you can post your prayer requests, lift up the burdens of others, and engage in daily discussions with a family that speaks the language of faith. Whether you are joining one of our membership tiers for deeper study, sowing a seed of faith, or simply joining our daily morning prayers, you are helping us build a global altar of worship. Heaven moves through willing voices, but it grows through a community that stands together. Each gift you give acts as living water for those in our community seeking healing and hope. Give. and it will be given to you, is the promise that sustains our shared mission. I invite you now to step out of the shadows and into this circle of prayer. Come with purpose, join the conversation, and plant your seed in fertile ground. Let's open the heavens together. Release your seed today. Join our community and see what God brings back into your life. As this awakening grows inside you, know that helping with this mission is not a joke. It is a sign from God. You can support this work through the link in the description or the pinned comment, whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our Ko-Fi community. By doing so, you become part of Jesus' plan to save souls who are still stuck in fog. Every seed turns into light that fights against darkness. If you water others, you will be watered yourself. Jesus says, this is not history. It is a living promise about your future. Come into this moment with faith and a plan. What God has already planned for your life can be unlocked through your giving. You are about to enter your divine future. But remember, this breakthrough is not for you alone. Your testimony is the bridge someone else will use to reach their own miracle. Archangel Michael is inviting you to visit community through the link in the description or the pinned comment. Whether by buying a coffee, making a donation, or becoming a member of our community, does not go to a channel. Your actions are supporting a divine mission to save lost souls. By joining our like-minded community, you are no longer praying in isolation. You are adding your voice to a global sanctuary where we discuss the Word daily and stand in the gap for one another. This is not poetry when Jesus says, "Give, and heaven will open over you." On this platform, every seed you plant turns into oil for your destiny, fire for your calling, and a hedge of safety for your family. Now is your time. Step into our community prayer wall. Share your heart. And as you give, watch God multiply what you let go of. Let's finish this journey together. Visit Out Community now. Join the family and see your heavens open. Before we get to the end of this powerful story, let's reflect on this deep truth. You did not find this message by accident. This is a divine appointment, meant specifically for you. You are being invited into a protected, faith-filled community at the link in the description and pinned comment, a place where divine abundance is not just a hope, but a promise built on the Word. By heading to the site right now, You are unlocking access to a sacred community of like-minded believers. When you join our membership tiers, you gain immediate entry to powerful content, daily devotions, and divine insights that are hidden from the world. This is your chance to enter a sanctuary where you will receive spiritual guidance, unwavering support on our prayer wall, and speedy progress toward your destiny. Do not let this moment of destiny pass you by. Your breakthrough is waiting. Join Inner Circle through the exclusive link in the description. This is how you guarantee you never miss the personalized messages and spiritual warfare tools meant to elevate your life. If you feel called to deepen your connection, the link is waiting for you in both the pinned comment and the description. For those who want to amplify this work, carry the light home. You can find our guided ebooks and Bibles in the pinned comment. Whether you join as a member or sow a seed through our resources, your presence and energy change the world. Take the step. Your abundance awaits.